Christmas is dead, and we have killed it. The fresh, cold evening breeze, the savory taste of the jamon de bola, and the noche buena that the family prepared hours for feel like it is nothing but a memory. Where has the time gone? Is it even possible to feel good this Burr months? The answer, yes and no. Filipinos honor the spirit of Christmas with such high regard that we start hanging up the decorations in September, but despite the girls and boys selling lanterns on the street, we barely notice or even feel that Christmas is in our hearts. Perhaps the various unfortunate and unforeseen events have had something to do with how most Filipinos barely look forward to the holidays and only see it as something as simple as a day off, rather than a time to reconnect with families and our spiritual faith. A common case of this is how people react whenever they hear the Christmas station ID of ABS-CBN way back in 2009. The song is full of nostalgia and childhood memories, which may put people off from the present. It brings every Filipino back to a time where they were young and happy, to a time when they didn't have to deal with a lot of problems. It's evident from the amount of comments just reminiscing their childhoods. There's no doubt that 2009 was a solid year for the holidays, and an unchanging reminder that the holidays are no longer what it used to be. It is quite difficult to look forward to what you're used to looking back on. There's no denying that Christmas time way back when we were at our youngest and happiest is incomparable to present and future holidays. As kids, we enjoyed life to its fullest and enjoyed the company of the people around us. As those kids become adults, though, they must constantly lift the crushing weight of reality on their shoulders that they would much rather look back to the past rather than look forward and get excited about what is coming for them. This constant longing for the past puts people in a lonely and inescapable cycle that diminishes the enjoyment of Christmas and even other occasions. Nostalgia in and of itself is inherently not a bad thing. However, the dose makes the poison. Looking back at the years when Christmas was at its peak are good memories to reflect on, but it becomes a problem when it affects how people celebrate future occasions. People tend to feed on nostalgia and prefer to soak in the dreadful fact that they will never be able to have that special Christmas day again. The environment that we have grown accustomed to plays a huge part in how we perceive the holidays. With how the world has been, it is not strange to assume that everyone just feels down and gloomy as of late. The pandemic that just happened a couple years ago and the current socioeconomic climate, these major events seem to have negatively affected our state of mind, which in turn affects how we celebrate events that were supposed to be uplifting rather than boring. Since everyone feels the same way, the majority flock to social media to express and speak their mind, leading to an irreversible domino effect. I'll be honest, I usually feel the same thing too. Even now, actually. Because back then, Christmas with the family was consistent. There was food, and there were people. The karaoke was on, and each family member took turns in singing. While they were all having a good time in the living room, I was having a good time in the dining room eating all the food. It was always like that, every holiday. However, life just happens, and now both my dad and sister work abroad, and I'm just here with my mom and our dogs. We try to make the best of it, but it's hard not to feel my heartstrings get pulled once I start to feel how empty our house is. On the bright side, I can communicate with my physically distant family members through video calls, but that's pretty much it. It is an entirely different way to celebrate Christmas when I compare it to Christmas in the past. Compare is the keyword here. Comparing one Christmas to another is usually what determines the quality of the holidays. But what if we change that mentality? Instead of comparing one holiday to another, perhaps it is better to not compare it, but experience it solely in that moment, and not attach it to anything else that's considered unnecessary. People drown themselves in the past, which creates an annual chronic struggle with self-sabotage over the holidays. It isn't crazy to assume that people are always bummed out because they just can't be in the present. This happens all the time. And I believe we have to make some changes because the point of the holidays isn't making a fuss about the holiday celebrations of the past, but to give both material and immaterial gifts to our loved ones. Christmas is a time to celebrate love and joy, and what better way to celebrate it than to share it? As we continue to grow, it is our holiday duty to spread love to everyone around us. It is up to previous generations to pay it forward by making the holidays better for newer generations, as it has always been. So, instead of being all hung up about the past, do what is best for the present. We are grown-ups now, and it is our turn to make Christmas a memorable experience for the people we love and cherish. Christmas may have been killed, but a dimming light can still flicker when it needs to shine. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.